What is happening, YouTube? So, major respects to every single one of you who are still optimistic about the Clippers, and pretty much anyone who is supporting the Clippers right now, because this is pretty much really one of the worst stretches that the Clippers has ever been. And it's even worse because you have Kawhi Leonard, who's, I still say he's the best basketball player in the world. And you have Paul George, and pretty much you only won 2 games. You really only won 2 games this month in January. This is getting really out of pocket, and it's not like we don't have the talent. It's just, man, so many like rotational decisions, and obviously, yeah, of course, the players didn't make their shots, duh. But that's up to Ty Lue to monitor that and try to switch things up, which, to his credit, he has for a little bit, but then he would always goes back to his old ways and all that, and then it would result us to be dug up into a big hole. And here we are. The Clippers hit pretty much rock bottom, and honestly, I think it's better for a team to hit rock bottom than to just be mediocre, because at least something will be made, in my personal opinion. And but yeah, this is pretty out of hand, and honestly, a lot of people are going crazy about the trades for sure. I pre-recorded a video about like who could the Clippers possibly trade for, and I just gave my personal opinions, and some and a lot and the players I put in my list. I mess with I would mess with the Clippers getting one of them, and personally, and I'm gonna say this again because I said it earlier in the day. It's just the recording video just took a while for it to officially load up in the photos, but I'll probably be dropping that either tomorrow or Thursday after the game. I don't know, depends what how I feel like, but pretty much honestly, I'm more about getting a new coach, honestly, rather than making a trade, because man, it's just so many opportunities that we could have won. 3 players: BJ Boston, Diabate, Rocco. Could have, if had they got more minutes, we would have definitely not. We wouldn't be in this situation. And this was a pretty bad loss. But at this point, Ty Lue just did this so many times. I feel like it's just. I think it's time to find a new coach, and I know, like, I feel so bad saying this, but after what I've seen, I just don't want to risk another playoff collapse. And Ty Lue's been showing that he may he may dig us a hole, or he might blow a lead, because Ty Lue is he's bringing his Doc Rivers mentality back. And the the thing that reminds me of so much about Doc Rivers is how BJ Boston and Diabate sits on the bench. This game, we were out rebounded. Diabate would have definitely harassed Joel Embiid pretty well. And BJ Boston, he could have definitely used some playing time as well too, because BJ Boston, he did pretty good against the Rockets. His hands only getting wet. 5 actual minutes, and then the rest of the minutes were probably garbage time. Um, I would have, he could have used either a combination of Norman Powell and BJ Boston, or, I mean, I wasn't even mad that Ty Lue chose to play Reggie Jackson. I know a lot of y'all are getting on Reggie's head, um, but I still remember the moments that what Reggie could do. But I would have either ran either Powell and BJ, or BJ and Boston, because at least with Boston you have size, and he could definitely bring a better scoring boost, and you also got better defense as well too, because BJ has better size. And who knows, maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't work, but at least I would rather have a coach who would just try everything. And he did play Moses Brown, but I would rather play Diabate. And I'm kind of learning that supposedly since Diabate is a two-way contract, there's a limit on how much you can play him, that is pretty dumb. I don't know who made that rule, but but I think part of the blame goes to the front office too. Just straight up convert Diabate, really. Just convert him to a full-time contract. But anyways, let's get into the game and pretty much, yeah, let's go player by player. PJ Tucker. So he pretty much hit wide open threes. He had moments when he played pretty solid defense. He got 4 rebounds, which is solid, I guess. And he got 6 points. Nothing too special, I guess, but he is starting. Tobias Harris, he got a good 20 points. He killed us a lot of times. And to be fair, he was even cooking Robert Covington too. So I guess, you know, nothing too much that we could have done to contain Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid, man, that dude flopped a lot. And honestly, Embiid and Tobias Harris, there's nothing we could have really had done with both of them. They were just making their shots. Even when Rocco was switched onto Tobias Harris, he was pretty much missing a good amount of shots. I mean, Embiid, Zubac definitely kind of held his own in the second half more, but he was still making everything. And of course, he got his 9 rebounds and he got 3 assists. Um, and he flopped like a fish for sure. James Harden, he had an off game, but unfortunately, the Sixers still won. D'Anthony Melton, 2 for 5. He had more of a quieter game. George Niang, this guy, for some reason, he would always turn to Reggie Miller against us. He went 3 for 4. We just left him wide open, and this also shows that this team could definitely use some more younger players and more athleticism. That's why I advocate for guys like Boston Jr., Diabate to play, so that way you have guys who could switch on to players a lot quicker, and Niang wouldn't get an easy, wide open shot, and he would at least missed one, well, 2 actually, but yeah. And then Montrezl Harrell, he was a non-factor, really. He got swatted by Zubac. Um, Tyrese Maxey, he definitely took advantage of Reggie Jackson and Norman Powell, and he just cooked them, just cooked our beautiful Clippers. Um, Matisse Thybulle, he didn't do much. Shake Milton didn't do much, but yeah, Maxey, Embiid, and Tobias, and George Niang. So these four of them just lit us apart. And then let's go with the Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard, of course, he had an amazing 27 points. He did his thing as usual. He just played like Kawhi. Simple as that. Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris, yeah, he did come from an injury, but he was kind of becoming a liability. His defense was not really it. Um, and he didn't really hustle as how he should be doing. He only got one rebound, and he got 2 assists. So I would definitely always look to split his minutes with Rocco, and also give some of the minutes to guys like Boston Jr. And obviously get Diabate as the backup instead of Moses Brown. Moses Brown, he's not trash, but Musa would always be the better guy because the defense would be so much better. But maybe we could always try to run a Brown and a Diabate front court for just once in a while, maybe against a kind of like a G League team like the Rockets. Zubac, he got 12 points, 9 rebounds, so a near double-double. He did pretty solid. I would definitely keep him for sure. Paul George, welcome back. He was pretty sloppy. He had 13 points, and he didn't take much shots. Um, I would have liked him to drive the basket more, and then he had 5 turnovers, which is 5 turnovers. But yeah, he was rusty. Terrence Mann, um, solid as usual. 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 points. He always brings his all. Definitely another player that we should keep. Nick Batum, a solid 3 for 5, 2 for 4. Maybe Ty Lue could have used Batum instead of Morris. I don't know. He would. He has that defensive hustle in him, and but he didn't get any rebounds though, so that's the thing. Robert Covington should have got more minutes, honestly, at least 20 minutes, really. Norman Powell, he was a bucket getter, but at the same time, his defense was, he definitely put his effort on defense, but it was just, Tobias Harris was bigger, Norman Powell was smaller. That's why it shouldn't be a Reggie and Norman Powell at the same time. It should have been either Norman Powell and BJ or BJ and Reggie Jackson. Like when Terrence Mann is off the floor. When Terrence or Paul George or Kawhi Leonard's off the floor, I believe BJ should be in just because I just like how his energy is and how much of a bucket getter he is. And I don't know if y'all watched the Rocket team. BJ, he looked pretty good within that small sample size, so it's hard to really tell. But that's just my 2 cents. And Moses Brown, yeah, solid 3 rebounds, got 2 dunks. A lot of people are slandering Moses Brown. I don't really see it. I don't know why people are going hard on Moses Brown. Yeah, he's slow. He's a traditional big, but he definitely puts an effort and he brings that energy. Reggie Jackson, I'm glad to see him back, but I know his defense was not it. But he definitely got buckets for sure. Um, Welcome back, Reggie. I guess. Hopefully you can find your rhythm back. We got nothing but love for you, Mr. June. But yeah, those are pretty much the rotations that Tyronn Lue just ran. So the conclusion is, I mean, within all the losses we have, and I think like I said, I'm definitely open to making a coaching change because I don't think it's really like a talent thing, honestly. Because I mean, we have so many guys who would like, who would definitely like, we would have like with this roster alone, we should be winning a good amount of games, and I feel like it could possibly be another coaching thing. And people want to say who should be the head coach of the Clippers. The most popular choice is Ime Udoka, which is I'm neutral about it. I mean, sure. One guy, I think his name is Kyojin. He said he wants Greg Popovich, which is he's too old for that. I mean, you're probably gonna have him only for 1 year or something like that, and then and I don't know how he's gonna utilize the young talents, but he did develop Duncan and Parker and Ginobili. But personally, I would like to give Baron Davis a shot of being the head coach because I would like the Clippers to get someone just fresh and new and not like a recycled coach who's pretty much had a lot of losing seasons and some disappointments and all that. And that's just my personal opinion. Like Loki, this potentially reminds me of a Mark Jackson situation, and pretty much Ty Lue's, I guess he's the Mark Jackson because Mark Jackson he didn't play Draymond Green, he played David Lee instead, kind of like how Ty Lue is just running all types of ridiculous rotations instead of giving Diabate a shot. So probably a guy like Baron Davis, he's willing to actually utilize anyone he sees that could be talented for this team, even if it's a rookie or pretty much a rookie or a G League player, a so-called G League player. Um, and pretty much here's a clip of Baron Davis. Like, like I mean, this is one clip that gives an indicator on how I feel he could definitely fit the Clippers as a head coach. So I know it's like kind of like one small sample size, but this is a clue.
That's a
No
bar.
offense.
In the pros,
Come
that's
on,
like
be.
a triple double though.
Another one. What I tell you? Let that kid play, bro.
Yeah, let him rock.
Let that kid play. Sounds like me. Sounds like me. Sounds like what Mike Malone would do. Sounds like what Steve Kerr will do. Let that kid play. Man.
Let
He
him
can
rock.
go.
hmm
Brandon Boston can score the basketball.
I like his demeanor. And yeah, I know, like, you guys might think I'm overreacting just because, oh, that one little clip, and he automatically gets the job, but I'm willing to give it a shot because really, I can guarantee once the Clippers start including Diabate in the regular rotations and shuffling BJ Boston more in the regular rotations, like maybe 15 minutes every other game, and then probably 10 minutes in other games. I don't know, but I feel like BJ could bring that energy, and Baron Davis, he seems to advocate for it. And let's just rewind the beautiful clip again. Let's just let's just rewind it.
That's a
No
Yes,
bar.
sir.
offense.
In the pros,
Uh,
Come
that's
on,
like
be.
a triple double
Lick
though.
him.
Another one. What I tell you? Let that kid play, bro.
Yeah, let him rock. Let
He
him
can
rock.
go.
Tell him, Baron. Tell him, Baron Davis. And Baron Davis, he's kind of like, I guess, the commentator of Clipper Vision. I don't have that. I just found it from a social media clip. My friend Clipsy Gremlin, he sent it to me, and then which kind of put me on of considering that Baron Davis should be the head coach of the Clippers because he is willing to do the number one thing that I always want the Clippers to do: develop the youth. And when you develop the youth, you get teams like the Nuggets and the Warriors and the Heat. But let me know on what your thoughts. What should the Clippers really do? Should the Clippers just make a big trade for a third star? Personally, I wouldn't do it. I know Siakam's starting to get the most popular option. Um, with me, with me with Boston Jr., you cannot convince me that Boston Jr. should be given up. It's just going to be another Shea Gilgis Alexander situation, but probably even worse. So I would consider a coaching change. And what do y'all think about Baron Davis as a Clippers' new head coach? Are y'all willing to give him a shot, or is there still hope that Ty Lue is gonna eventually turn it around? Just I want to hear your opinions. Or should we just go with Ime Udoka? Um, Ime Udoka, the Celtics did do really good with him, but I don't know if he's willing to. Will he get Brandon Boston Jr. playing? Will he get Musa Diabate playing? Those are my questions. So be sure to leave a comment down below. But anyways, we play the Jazz tomorrow, so try to have a good night and hopefully somehow we win tomorrow. If we lose, heck, more I guess more fire in the in Steve Ballmer's hands. So he and who knows, Ty Lue might be out of here. So, but pretty much stay safe and take care and have a great night. Oh, my bad.